Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Civilization video. This is the second part of the legendary commander talents. So I know you probably are waiting for this video for a while now, so I have done it. Now before I'm going to start and popping up pictures and start talking about the legendaries, I'm gonna say a few things in general about the legendaries that people should know. So if you already watch a lot of my videos, then you probably know about it. If you're new into the game or to my channel, then you should wait for this. So the first thing that you need to know about the legendaries is that you should keep them at 1 star until you manage to max out his first skill, because the first skill is the most important skill of the legendaries. On the epic ones, you're going to be able to max them out easy into the game without spending anything, so that you should not really make any problems about the epic ones. Now the second thing you need to know about the legendaries: in order to max out all his skills, you need approximately 690 legendary sculptures. So after you summon him, you need 690 legendary sculptures. Third thing is that his stars. So in order to max out all his 6 stars, you need about 700 legendary stars, give or take, about 700. For his last stars, you need about 450. So from 5 to 6 stars, that's 450. But in total, it's roughly of 700, give or take. It depends on your luck on critical hits. The fourth thing that you need to know about commanders in general, all commanders, garrison, in any situation, talents only work on the main commander. Alright? Now let's start with the actual video. Now the first one is Double C. This is how I call him. You see his name, I put the name on the picture, so I've done a little bit of more modifications to all the pictures. So I put the name on the picture, I put what this talent build it is for. So he is the king of mobility. That means that if you follow this path, green, red, blue and yellow, that means that you will be able to achieve the highest mobility for your cavalry that you can get into the game from the talents, following this talent tree. You can check in the game yourself every point what it gives, and you'll see that this is the highest march speed that this commander can have, or any other cavalry commander. That's why I call him the king of mobility, because there is no other commander that can obtain that much march speed on his troops from the talents. Now I'm gonna get the other one, and before I go to the other one, if I would have to use this particular commander myself, this is the talent tree that I would use for him. So this is what I would use on my Double C if I would have to use him with cavalry, me personally. Now the other options, I made another option, which obviously is the cavalry one. So this is the cavalry one, which you can see you still have a lot of march speed, while you get a lot of damage. So it's entirely up to you if you want to follow that one or you want to follow this one. As I said, if I would use cavalry, I would use them for their mobility. If I would use this commander for my cavalry, I would try to benefit of the mobility. With this particular talent tree, you have a significant amount of mobility. Trust me, you might not have the hasty departure right at the beginning, you'll have it just later on, but in general, as you gain a lot of march. So just try out this one if you want to gain as well damage for your cavalry, or if you want to just have natural march all the time, a lot of march, you can try the other one. There is no other setup that can work for this commander. This commander is made for mobility. The way his talents are, the way his trees, the talent trees are, he's made for mobility. So this is the second one, which is very good as well, I have to say. In the other one you gain a little bit more march, on this one you lose a little bit march, but you have more power for your cavalry. So this is what I have to say about this commander. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop up the next commander. And who else can it be than Richard the First? I'm gonna pick him, why not? Alright, so Richard the First. This is the garrison talent tree for him. And again, green, red, blue, yellow. It's same as the other commanders. It's on every commander is the same. The color path is the same: green, red, blue, and yellow. Now you probably seen that this is the same as Charles Martel, so there isn't really that much that I can talk about it, except you can see the blue path. With the blue path you get the pseudo formation. The other option that you can go is for the healing, but Richard already has healing. His main skill is very good. Everyone is using him because of his main skill. So when you do the blue path, go for the testudo formation like I just showed you in the picture. Because you already have healing, you don't need more healing, you need more defense. So follow the blue path. After that you have the yellow path with 2.3 in Undying Fury. I'm not gonna talk much about it because it's basically the same as Charles Martel. So this is the garrison talent tree. If you manage to build this one, if you want to keep your Richard for your garrison, me personally, I'm telling you how I'm doing. So I have Charles Martel, which is already infantry. He's high level, max skills, everything. So that is for battle. Richard is second in command. His talents does not matter because I mentioned talents work on the main commander. So my Richard is on garrison. And if someone is going to attack me, I will make sure that my commanders are in the city. So Richard is the main commander in garrison, while Charles is second. When I'm battling, Charles is the main commander on the battlefield and Richard is the second. So I have two commanders that I use for both defense and offense. Easy peasy. So that's why I'm doing. This is why I'm showing you guys the garrison talent tree. If you started with Richard, if you started leveling your Richard and your Richard is more advanced in level than your Charles, you can swap them like I've done. So you can put Richard on the battlefield with the infantry talents, which I'm just gonna pop them right now. So if your Richard is more advanced than Charles, you can put Richard on the battlefield and keep Charles in your defense with garrison. So this is the infantry talent tree with your Richard. Again, same thing. Richard already has heal. You don't want the healing path, you want the defense path. So you want more defense for your infantry, you don't want more healing because you already have from him. Green, red, blue, and yellow. Nothing more to talk about. And let's go to the last one. So last one is for mixture of troops, same as Charles had it. Because in the early levels of the game, if you're going to use Richard, you're not going to have that much infantry to do a full infantry build. If you keep it in garrison, it makes no difference. But if you want to use him on the battlefield, you need to use the mixture of troops. Now this is something that I didn't mention on Charles Martel. These defense talents can work in your defense as well. So if you only have one of them and you're in the early levels of the game, you can do this path for mixture of troops. When you're not battling or when your city is getting attacked, you make sure that he is back in the city, and with these talents he's gonna be really good in defense. The reason I haven't done yellow, because again is green, red, blue. The reason I haven't done yellow because if you manage to get him a 6-star, at that point you should be able to do a full infantry build. At that point into the game, when you get into 6 stars, you're gonna be at least 2 months into the game, or maybe even more than 2 months. So at that point you should be able to build full infantry path, and which is gonna benefit a lot more than defense for mixture of troops, or garrison if so you choose, if that is your choice. Now who is going to be our next lucky winner? Let's see. Well, I would say the next one should be Hannibal, because I just picked him over here. There's a bunch of folders. So that's Hannibal. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video which commanders I'm doing. I should have wrote it on the paper. Anyway, so this is Hannibal. Unfortunately for Hannibal, he only has one talent tree. The siege path, as I mentioned, is pretty bad. It's not really worth it. Not in his situation. Alright, to be more specific, not in his situation. There is a talent build that you can use for siege, but Hannibal Barca, the way he is made, the way his talents are made, he needs to be used with mixture of troops, and he needs the leadership path. This is how, unfortunately, this is the only way that Hannibal Barca could actually benefit the most, combining his skills with his talents. Now, if you wanna group Hannibal Barca, you can do it with a lot of combinations. You can use him with Frederick. He will do great with Frederick. He'll do decent with Julius Caesar. A lot of combinations. But he needs to be used with mixture of troops. And late into the game, mixture of troops are so-so. In the late game, what excels is going to be specific troops. So like full infantry, full cavalry, full archers. This is what excels into the late game. This is why they gave the leaders the last talent to bring more troops into the battle. Because they need to compensate later into the game the fact that they have to use mixture of troops. And that's the only way they will compensate with the last skills that all leaders have, by bringing more troops than others into the battlefield. Now you get it. It makes a little bit of sense when I'm talking about it, isn't it? Because if you check the infantry, cavalry and archers, there's none of them that have these leader talents. So that's why all these leaders that have that skills that brings more troops into the battle, and talents as well, because they need to compensate, like I just mentioned. So this is the only talent tree that can work for Hannibal Barca. Is the same I've done it for Scipio or Julius Caesar. It's for mixture of troops, and again it's green, red, blue and yellow. The next one is definitely, and I have YSG, which is the Archer Dude. And I'm gonna start with the one that I like. So this is the Archer Dude YSG Nuker talent tree. Now this is the talent tree that I would recommend that you should use him if you're going to use him as a main commander. Even if he is on the nuker talent path, I would advise you to bring as many archers as possible with you, even if you can full group. So even on the nuker path. Why? Is because his nuking skill is going to benefit from the archers of the from the attack from archers. So he will do a lot more damage with his nuking skills if you have more archers rather than having, let's say, swordsmen or cavalry. This is very important. Green, red, blue and yellow. So you use him on the nuker talent path, and you bring as many archers as possible with you if you can, full group, and everyone on the battlefield is gonna be tremendously scared of you. It might sound weird, but as a second in command, I would put Richard I. Why? It's because the heal from the Richard I is going to keep your troops count high. So if you get targeted, or from the damage that you get from the sides, because you know, even when you attack someone, even if you're not the one that engaged direct, you still have some losses. So what Richard I is going to do is just going to keep your troops count high, so you can keep pounding and pounding and pounding. If you don't have Richard I, you can try with another healer. Bring Frederick, for example. You can bring Frederick if you want. Even double C. you can bring with him. It doesn't matter. Or you can bring another archer commander like Kusunoki, Herman. But yes, this is the talent pad that I would advise on him. He will do a tremendous amount of damage. Now, obviously, if you don't believe what I'm just saying about the nuker pad, if you don't believe that he's going to be that strong of a nuker, and you prefer to just boost your archers as much as possible, then I'd build the archer pad as well. So this is the archer pad that I would do with him if you want to use him like that. Like usual, green, red, blue and yellow. You see the name over there, archery, talent tree. And if you're actually so disappointed about his performance and you ever want to use him in garrison, since he has a garrison talent, and I think that is slightly a mistake over there. Yes, it is, and I do apologize. The red dot into the middle, that was not supposed to be there. I can't really fix it right now, so don't take this one in consideration. Alright, so this is how should a garrison talent look like. I'm just gonna pop out another one. Alright, you can see the slightest difference. You can see the red dot that has gone into the middle. So that's the problem. You can see that Herman has the same garrison, nuker and archer, and then we have him, which it has an extra one. So do not do the extra one because it's march speed. In your garrison you don't need march speed, so that extra dot you don't have to do it. So this is for the garrison, but don't do the extra dot that you've seen over there. Alright. And this is going to be the last one into the video, which is Frederick I. Now what I have to say about Frederick I is that he is a great nuker. Believe it or not, he's quite a strong nuker. Now this is the talent build for the nuker, and I think he's the only leader that has a nuker talent as well, so it makes him pretty unique. It's same like Eulji Mundok, which is the only one that have infantry and attack, so this makes Frederick a little bit unique, because himself is quite a very strong nuker, especially if you can build him on the nuker talent path. So if he's going to be your main commander, this is the talent build that I would advise for Frederick. Green, red, blue and yellow. As I mentioned, he can be the second in command to many setups. Many setups because of his nuking. Even with infantry, cavalry, archers, especially with archers. He can be a second in command because of his nuking skill is really great. And if you use him as a nuker, the way I built him is more like an aggressive build, so it can work with mixture of troops if you want to use him as a main commander. This is for mixture of troops, it mentions over there. Now if you want to boost your troops more and have less nuking, now this is the talent tree that I would advise. Now you're probably wondering why I have done the yellow ones. Well, you could say that this is more of an aggressive build. If you check the yellow ones, one of them on the yellow, it gives you a lot of attack while your troops count is at 90%. So that means you're going to start with a lot more burst damage at the beginning of the battle. And if I'm correct, the one that is just 1 out of 3, I think that's march speed. I'm not 100, I believe so. I didn't check that siege pad as much, but this is the reason I put the yellow ones over there, because you're going to get a lot more initial attack into the battle. So if you want to use this talent tree, this can be in your favor, because you get a lot of initial attack. If you look on the other leaders, because you might be wondering why I didn't do this on the other leaders. If you look on the other leaders, when they have the blue talent pad, they have the attacker one. If you check the talents, on those, it grants them a lot of attack which is permanent. So on the other ones like Julius Caesar, Scipio or Hannibal, BARCA, if you check their talent pad on the attacker, they gain a lot of attack which is permanently, not like 90% when your troops are 90% or higher, which is on the siege one. But this is the thing, at the point where you manage to get him close to level 60, at that point you're probably close to City Hall 25 as well, so you will be able to bring a lot of troops out. Maybe if you use an item you can bring, let's say, 350,000 troops, which might sound crazy, but it is true. And at that point, to keep troops at 90%, that means you have to lose like 35,000 troops before that damage start to be lost. So at that point you're going to have a lot of initial damage. Now I believe that this makes more sense now. I'm trying to explain the best way I can about why I went on that little bit of siege path with Frederick. Now this is a bit of a mixture, which for me it looks really interesting. If I would have to use Frederick, I would definitely try this one. The first one would be the Nuka one, which I told you that it is the best one, and I strongly recommend it if you're using your Frederick as a main commander. But this is the second one that I would personally try on Frederick. Why? Because he has a lot of march speed and it is an aggressive build. So you basically don't have any defense. You can use him with any kind of troops you want, and you have a lot of march speed compared to the other commanders. So this is the maximum march speed that Frederick can get from his talents. And the reason it is aggressive is because of the siege path that I was just mentioning on the other picture. So this is the second picture that I would advise. The first one was the nuker one. This is the second. And it's again green, red, blue and yellow. So I hope that I give you guys a lot of options. So I hope you really find this interesting. I think you see that after I've done the other ones, I think I gained a lot of experience. I've done the picture like much better. I'm getting better at this now that I'm finishing them off. There still could be done the blue ones, the blue commanders, if in any situation anyone would actually going to use them. So again, you know, I put a lot of effort. I didn't want to mention at the beginning because that might bother a lot of people, so I decided to maybe talk about it at the end if anyone is going to listen. You're probably realizing that I have to put a lot of effort in these pictures. I have to do calculations to make sure that all the talents actually have a sense. You're actually benefiting at each stop. So for example, at level 31 or 30 talents, you're actually benefiting a lot from those rather than going that way or that way or that way. When you stop at red one, which is at 46 talents, when you stop at blue one. So I had to do it was a lot of work. Personally, I'm telling you, it took me quite a while. So again, if you want to share it, if you want to help me out, I will not mind at all. Again, is going to motivate me to do better and more videos in the future. But I believe with this one is pretty solid. The talents are pretty solid now, and the options are very strong. I don't think there is more that I need to talk about. Yeah, that's it. I'm done with the legendaries. I'm done, all 10 of them. Another thing I can mention, because people are asking me where could you get these pictures from. I started uploading on my Instagram. You're finding a lot of information in the description of the video, and there you're finding my Instagram as well. So I started uploading with the epic ones. I started with the epic ones, with the new ones, because I've done them nicely with lines and names and titles. I've done the epic ones as well, so you can find them on my Instagram. I'm gonna upload, I'm not sure if daily or every second day, but I'm started with the epic ones, and then when the legendary ones, at some point I will do the legendary ones. They will be there, they will be on my Instagram. Right, so that would be all about this video. I prefer to do it at the end, so the people got the talents, if that's what they were looking for. They didn't want to listen to me wombling and talking. So they can skip it. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing out. Don't forget about my live streams, Tuesday, Friday and Saturday, 18 UTC. That is correct. How you can check the UTC? Right up corner into the game. That's how you find your UTC. I bid you farewell, and I'm so happy that I'm done with the legendary. You have no idea. Be safe, take care, love you all. Peace out.